Joining me here for expert opinion on this issue, I have Khushbu Jain, lawyer of the Supreme Court, Shamina Safiq, former member of the National Commission for Women, and Vibhuti Narayan Rai, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. I really appreciate your giving us time on this very, very important issue that we are relentlessly pursuing. And there's only one reason we are doing this, and that is we do not think safety of the citizen on the street is any luxury. It is something very basic that elected governments are supposed to provide. Yet today, it seems, women out there do not feel safe anymore. Public transport is not safe. We've seen sexual predators on the lurch. And it's not just one Aurangabad or one incident. This has happened in trains, in buses, in cabs. And therefore, we thought it's high time we take it up in full steam and bring more voices like yourselves to tell our viewers. If I may begin with you, Khushbu Jain, you heard the minister, the Union Law Minister say, we have fast-track courts, we have POCSO now, we have Sexual Harassment Act. None of this is acting as any deterrent. Why do you think that, men feel they can get away with these kind of advances made towards women? And it's not even the power equation anymore, where you have a superior misbehaving with a junior in workplace. It's everywhere, all across.
I think one can attribute this to vagueness in the definition. One, the penalties are minimum. Second, the third is the perpetrator, the one who commits the crime, are not apprehended in majority of the cases. I think these are the three main reasons which make people believe that they take it very lightly. And these are the three main reasons why women in India feel unsafe or they fear. See, nothing was committed. It was said. Imagine she was so horrified that she could get out from a running taxi at a speed of 40 kilometers is what I heard. So imagine the kind of fear that is there in your mind, my mind, and every woman's mind in India. So with that, I think we have to create stringent law. A, we have to have enforcement of this law. B, it has to be speedy. I think I did hear about things, but see, every time something horrific happens, which comes in limelight, which comes in media, or which channel like Mirror now make it very take it personally and take it to a large extent that some changes come. Those changes come, but again, the problem comes is that they don't continue. Like, for example, after the Nirya, they came up with aspects that we need to have mobile vans for women, Nirbhaya mobile vans, for the safety of girl students who are disappearing from, who have disappeared or things were happening. But if you'll see, the number doesn't match today. Either those vans have disappeared, or we don't see them, or the numbers are too low. The second aspect, another initiative was that METRI, the Security Squad of Women Police, and Shakti Squad. These two are also either they're inactive or they are not matching the number that we need when it comes to security, when it comes to safety of public places. The third, we do talk about technology. We are talking about getting into a 5G, sphere, but none of our policies, none of our policing are matching or taking help of the state-of-the-art technology to bring in technology or take a help of technology. Basics like, creating a panic button at public places, understanding which are the areas which are sensitive, or these kind of things happen a lot. At least there should be a lot of panic buttons over there. Public vehicles should have panic buttons so that one doesn't have to resort to phone or anything else. It's just a panic button. With that panic button, if you make sure that every manufacturing of every public vehicle should be embedded with the RFID or some way of tracking it, which is with the department, and whenever some complaint or the panic button is pressed,
these are things absolutely doable, with perhaps very little cost. It just requires that intent. Shamina Safiq, you would have dealt with many of these cases as a member of the National Commission for Women. What Khushbu Jain is telling us today is that the initiatives that have been taken are either defunct, nobody is actually monitoring what is the success rate of those initiatives. Some of them perhaps need to be scrapped. The other question is that would it really help to have measures like, okay, let's have a separate ladies compartment. Okay, let's have cabs driven by women. That is not perhaps the solution, isn't it? I mean, this is happening in non-confined spaces as well. It's not in a confined cab or a bus. Now it's happening in an auto rickshaw. This is not the first case, Shamina Safiq.
See, I hate to say this, but the fact of the matter is that I've been listening to a lot of comments by ministers or, for that matter, politicians. Most of them are talking about what? They're talking about what are going to be the steps after the crime has been committed upon. Nobody is, in fact, even talking about prevention of crime against women. Nobody is talking about safe public spaces for women. Again, the onus sort of lies on the woman. You carry a pepper spray. I mean, there has to be some panic button that you can press if you are in danger, if you're in trouble, with due respect to Khushbu, because some of the points were really good. But the larger point that I want to make here is self-defense training should be given to girls. Why not? Why can't we actually educate men in our society? Do you think the problem is going to solve if we have just one or two or three women compartment in a local train, or maybe a women taxis? Come on, we are 50% of the population. We are there. We are studying. We are getting educated. We are driving. We are doing jobs. We are doing businesses, and we need equal spaces, and we need equally safe spaces. One day, just ask your team to go take a mic and ask men around on the streets, do you feel unsafe on the streets? They will say no. But any woman you ask, and she will say yes, whether it's an educated
Glad you
woman
brought this up. Yes, we did. And, you know, we should actually go across to the men as well. Sorry to interrupt you. I have a caller on the show. I want to go across to Captain Jaspal joining us from Rohtak. Yes, Captain Jaspal, your thoughts on this issue, please.
Good evening. You have taken a very complex issue, and you see the politicians don't let the control over police go. Until unless the policeman is accountable and is not scared of the local politician, the entire debate is come to a knot. And second, with due apologies to the two ladies, please keep your hand on your heart and say that most of the ladies that they appoint in the Women Commission, either they are too kind-hearted or they are totally incompetent. The Women Commission should be headed by a strong administrator, and we haven't many in the female group. So this is a very... And thirdly, every victim should be duly compensated. Now this girl's father is saying, I'm spending my own money. What a shame that in a state like they cannot spend. And now coming to the politician who was speaking on the show, he did not make any system which he could be proud of, and the present government has tampered with. It is a serious problem, requires very, very strong
Yes,
solution.
because one of the taglines, thank you, Captain Jaspal, one of the flagship programs of this government is Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. When parents see this, they will shudder again. They will think that if my daughter is traveling alone, she is not safe. Her life could be endangered. I have Mr. Murugesan from Tamil Nadu. I'll quickly take another caller and then go to my guest. Yes, Mr. Murugesan.
Please bachao our daughters.
No, go ahead, sir. I couldn't hear you. Please say that again.
Please bachao our daughters.
Yes, bachao our daughters. Okay, that's
Yes.
what... Yes. Carry on.
कोई भी लड़की अभी रात में भी अकेले जा सकता है, वही फ्रीडम है।
Yes.
साल हो गया, 75 साल का वही चल रहा है, फिर भी सेफ्टी नहीं है, फिर क्या मतलब है?
Yes, so, you know, what you are saying, Mr. Murugesan, is something that reflects the sentiment of this nation today. You know, citizens are angry to see this. Vibhuti Narayan Rai, you heard another caller there saying that policing is important. There is no fear of the law. Let's face it. I mean, if this auto driver had any fear that I can never get away with this, I am under watch, I could face severe consequences. If he had that fear, he would not dare to make a sexual advance at a girl sitting in his auto rickshaw.
It was very unfortunate. And personally, I feel that the girl was fortunate in the sense that no speeding vehicle from behind hit her or killed her. And there was a good-hearted citizen who stopped his motorcycle. You see in Delhi or NCR, nobody stops. Something happens and everybody simply passes. So this was, at least she was fortunate in that sense. But the first thing which one of the panelists has very rightly said, that it is a long journey. And it is not only training of the women, it is training of the men also. In this patriarchal society, where if I am allowed, I will say that we have a large number of sex-starved male. These things will keep on happening. One good thing is that now we have, at most of the places, we have the CCTV camera. And this incident will also end to conviction only because of the CCTV camera. Then, as one caller has very rightly said, that it is the job of the state. If such thing has happened, the state should properly compensate. And at least the care of the child, care of the girl in the hospital should be taken care of by the state. Then, as Minister has said, if that thing happens in the spirit of the letter, there should be fast-track courts. This case, as a test case, should be decided, say, within another 2-3 months.
Mr. Narendra, we have seen enough of that. And the state that you were heading, the force, police force you were heading in UP happens to be among the top 3 states with the highest crime against women. Maharashtra is among the top 3 as well. When it comes to harassment in public transport again, UP, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, these are the states that are faring the worst from the data that I can see. I want to ask you, Khushbu Jain, you raised this issue that, the initiatives that are taken are sometimes inadequate, sometimes ineffective. We haven't got our policies right when it comes to women's safety, or is there not enough focus, enough priority, enough budget allocated for this particular issue?
It can be all of the above. If I have to give you a very precise to the point answer, but see, not that enough is not done. Time and again, with intervals, things have been going on. If I just say that recently, Ministry of Home Affairs approved of Safe City project. Now, this Safe City project is nothing but several cities, including Mumbai, is part of it, where Mumbai police said that they will use UAVs, that is unmanned aerial vehicles, that is your drone, to for the surveillance at the key areas and the areas which are sensitive. And they will also use CCTV cameras to be installed, across places. But I would say that again, you don't match the number. You come up with a solution, but it has to match, and it can't be restricted to 2 or 3 capital city, 2 or 3 cities, or majority of the tier 1 cities. You have to come look at the proportionality. Now you're installing 500 cameras. That doesn't justify. What will I do? People will not go to those 500 cameras to commit crime. They will go to all other places. There are so many hotspots. Like, I think both of us, you and me, will agree that which are the areas in Bombay that we should not go in the night, and these are the areas where hooligans are standing, or these are the areas which will be dead. We should not go. Same with the Delhi. There are so many areas. I would never take a flight that would land after 8 o'clock in Delhi, because there is a patch in between from the airport to any place you go in the Delhi, not Gurgaon, that would be empty. That would be pitch dark and empty, and anything could happen. Even if somebody is shouting at the top of his voice, would not get any kind of assistance. And you have to understand the fear. It's not about getting justice.
I'm glad, again, you're raising an important point, which I wanted to also ask, in fact, that, when you see this, immediately the thing that happens is women will be restricted. There will be parents who will say, auto mat lo. There can be any incident that can happen. And in a place like Mumbai, it's the vehicle for the last mile coverage. People take trains, they get to their homes with auto rickshaws. It's an everyday mode of transport, Shamina Shafiq. What we are doing is, we will be restricting our women more and more. You have the Prime Minister speak from the parapet of the Red Fort talking about women empowerment. But on ground, look what is happening. And you heard the caller say that all our commissions, one that you were part of as well, are not really doing their job, are ineffective, essentially.
Yeah, I sort of understand the sentiment that the gentleman was trying to echo, and he's right, because I'm sorry to say that, but since 2014 onwards, we've seen a downfall as far as the activities of these commissions are concerned. But you know what? This reminds me of the situation that happens. I come from UP. I'm sitting in Sitapur, which is a district which has villages all adjoining, and the similar thing happens here. A woman gets raped, she gets pulled into the farmer's place, and sometimes in the fields, and then she's raped and she's killed, and then all the other girls of the village are actually barred from entering the school or going to school or college because there is lack of public transport. For heaven's sake, we are talking about Aurangabad, we're talking about Maharashtra, in the city. Now the same things are happening in the cities. So that means we are repeatedly facing the same problem. The Prime Minister was talking about smart cities. I mean, we are in 2022. Give us safe cities. Urban planning. Women is never the agenda of urban planning. Nobody is even talking about that. And as the lawyer said very rightly, that the kind of solutions that come up, actually, these are a part and parcel of the knee-jerk reactions.
Yes, always there is some damage control, some knee-jerk reaction, some announcement made about an inquiry. Nothing is followed through. When it comes to instilling that fear of the law, we have failed. I have two more callers, Silverius Fernandez from Mumbai and General Kapoor from Delhi. General Kapoor, please go ahead.
You see, I can hear these girls talking, we can't go at night, we come out late from the airport, the roads are completely barren, and therefore we are scared of the taxi drivers and all that. Why is it that our girls are so timid? What can a taxi driver do if the girl is prepared to fight back? If nothing else, let us carry in our purse a pepper spray.
No, I'm sorry, General Kapoor. Let's not spread, anything that is at this stage. What we are trying to do here is talk about how systems can be made robust. It is not a solution to tell a woman, listen, you better fend for yourself, carry a pepper spray or a safety pin. These are not solutions. We are shifting the onus back to the women, again doing the victim blaming, victim shaming. That would not do. I'm afraid I'd have to interrupt that, because I think Shamina Shafiq will be able to say better why these cannot be solutions, why the onus always is shifted to women, and that is probably part of the problem here.
This is the problem. This is the exact problem that we are dealing with. And this is why no matter how many laws we have in place, no matter how many knee-jerk reaction, and then consequently we have some certain policies in place, nothing is going to work unless and until we start educating men, and not just uneducated men, but also educated men. I'm sorry to say this, because they have this mindset that women need to either be at home after a certain point of time, or they need to learn how to fend for themselves, they need to defend themselves, and they need to learn certain type of trainings.
Yes.
I mean, why can't men and women...
That's why we are having this conversation, because likes of you, Ms. Shafiq, will have to speak out, and somewhere it will have to, dawn on people that those solutions don't work. Silverius Fernandez, a caller from Mumbai. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm Silverius Fernandez and Felicia Fernandez, senior citizens of 73 years old.
Okay, good evening, sir. Go ahead.
In the first class, find a lot of people coming to harass the ladies in the adjacent first class bogie. We carry a loud thunder whistle and carry WD-40 spray. And it has proved very effective on drug addicts. And when we blow the loud thunder whistle, the police and passerbys all come to our rescue. Likewise, when a rickshaw driver also harasses us and takes us the wrong way, we quietly blow the whistle, and then he realizes that he's dealing with a wrong person. And that's how we reach home safely at night.
But that doesn't become a deterrent. Thank you so much, Mr. Fernandez. But that will never be a deterrent. For a sexual predator, he'll always go and take his chance because he has no fear of the law. Isn't that the case here, Vibhuti Narayan Rai? Would you admit that... okay, Khushbu wanted to come in. Please go ahead, Khushbu, then Mr. Rai.
Let me just add, whatever the suggestions you're giving, see, these are the precautionary measures, but do you want women to take law in hand? You really want us that if somebody is hitting me, I should hit back. If somebody is doing something What kind of force do I have to apply my mind and really commit crime myself over there? That's what you're talking. So we are not shifting on the aspect that it's a duty of the state to provide for a safe place for both men and women. How are we taking away that duty and focusing on that what women should do? I mean, I understand that everybody has to take care of themselves, including all citizens, all sexes, but you cannot focus on that women have to take care of their, that's the prime thing that has to be done. One. The second, see, everything is coming because there is no fear, deterrent that anything will happen to these people if they commit this crime. There are been instances where a crime is committed by a person twice, thrice, or maybe n number of times because he goes scot-free, he's not been put behind the bars. So I think we have to create that deterrent or that terror in the mind of the men that if you do a slightest of the act, be it sexual harassment, be it stalking, be it XYZ, he will be punished, and it would not go long. It would be an immediate punishment. Hence, it will put a stop to him, and that will give a lesson to all other people in the society that if you do this will be the action taken against you by the state, which would be an immediate thing. So I think we need a specific cell, a specific wing who takes care of enforcement of law, and also a specific judiciary who takes care of crime against women on the public places, so that this aspect at least can be taken care and we don't talk about this issue again and again on air.
Okay, I have some breaking news coming in. I request all my guests to stay with us. News that we are breaking to you. NCPCR writes a letter to Aurangabad Police, demands a report in 7 days. So that's National Commission for Prevention of Crimes Against Children. The National Commission of Prevention of Crimes Against Children, the NCPCR, has written to the Aurangabad Police demanding a report in 7 days. We have Priyank Kanungu on the phone line. Mr. Kanungu, can you hear me?
Hear you?
Yes, good evening, sir. Can you tell us what exactly is the communication that you've made to the Aurangabad Police?
Yeah, we have taken cognizance of the case and we asked for a action taken report from Aurangabad Police. We asked for a copy of FIR, the statement of child, the steps taken by the district administration for compensation and rehabilitation of the child. These are things we asked from the district administration of Aurangabad.
Right. Thanks very much, Mr. Kanungu, for joining us, the Chief of the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, telling us that certain questions raised on the Aurangabad Police. Mr. Rai, I think I should bring you in here to tell us the role of policing here. The role of police is not just to crack crimes. As we all know, prevention is a very important aspect of the functioning of the police, and it has failed miserably in that.
There is a saying, there is a maxim in the law that it is not the severity of the punishment which deters. It is the certainty of the punishment which deters. So this case should be made a example, and say if within 10 days or 15 days or say in 1 month, the case is decided and this fellow according to law may not get more than 3 to 7 years, but even if 3 years are awarded to him, 3 years punishment is given to him, I think that will be a big deterrent. Only thing is that case will keep on lingering another 2, 3 years, 5 years later. You have recently seen in the Uttarakhand case where the girl was killed. 3 persons were sentenced to death, and ultimately after a few years the Supreme Court acquits them. So you will have to take it in as a holistic view that you punish them, punish the offender, and punish the offender quickly. This may be a test case, and every day we keep on reading such cases. If say another 2-3 months this is decided and this fellow is punished, I think that will be a deterrence, and this is the best prevention. Otherwise, police I don't think can prevent such cases, because every day, every city, every town, every gully is witnessing such cases. So one of your panelists has very rightly and very correctly said that this will be a long, say, exercise.
Yes.
But men will have to be educated. Men will.
There needs to be a sustained program, sir. Men, women alike have to join their heads Shamina Shafiq, quick last word to you before I close the program.
I want to say one thing. Since this case has happened and Mirror now has been taking up this case very seriously, please find out how many cities post this case have actually got down speaking to the auto rickshaw walas or the public transport people as to why safety of women is important and why they should behave themselves. Please figure out, only in Maharashtra you will find none of them, because they will only focus on the points where they feel that media is going to cover them. Unfortunately, this is the sorry state of affair of India right now as far as women's safety is concerned. Because when you talk about prevention, immediately Maharashtra government should have announced and ordered that you should go and ensure that all these public transport or private
Absolutely.
transport.
This is in fact something that one of my colleagues was suggesting, that the auto association should have been rounded up and then given a briefing on conduct, on how they have to behave while they take their passengers. There should have been strong warnings given to them. There has to be some authority who does this job. There seems to be no one taking up that particular job. Shamina Shafiq, Mr. Rai and Khushbu Jain, thank you so much for joining us here on this program this evening.